What's going on, YouTube world? Welcome to D-Woods Trucking Channel. I'm a little nervous, but it's okay, you know. My first time doing YouTube. You know, I'm keep it honest and everything about what I do. And, you know, maybe y'all can learn from my channel. And, you know, and y'all gonna, you know, can watch me try to reach my goals. I have goals. I just want to share it with the YouTube world. Who knows, maybe I can help somebody out. Maybe somebody can learn from my channel. A little bit about me. I'm from Houston, Texas. I used to be a pipe fitter and a welder at the refineries. I did it for years. And now I just wanted to come into the transportation world and make the best out of it. So I started with my Class B permit. I got my Class B permit. And I took my test here at the Houston DPS office. I took my general knowledge, my air brakes, and my Texas Section 14, and I took my combination, and I also took my passenger. I took all those endorsements. And after I took that, I got my permit, and I was finna go to truck driving school. But before I went to truck driving school, I had a company called Transdale. They operate buses in Houston. Actually, they partner with Metro. They partner with Metro in Houston, and they also partner with, you know, Metro in big cities, not just in Houston. Transdale is all over the country. Transdale, I know they partner with Metro in St. Louis. They partner all over the country. You just have to look and see. So I got my permit first, and then Transdale hired me with my permit, and they trained me for 6 weeks. And they basically was training me to get me prepared for my, you know, my road test and stuff like that to get my Class B license. So they prepared me for that, and they trained me. I did my road test, passed it, then I had got my Class B. And so as of now, this is what I operate. I operate Metro. It's a big bus. I call her Big Bertha. And you know, operating this bus it's pretty easy, but it's not easy. It's a little hard. You just have to know what you're dealing with, what you're driving, especially in any commercial vehicle. You have to know what you're driving. And so I started driving this bus, and to me, I learned a lot. Here. Let me open the door. I learned a lot here driving this bus, and this is what I operate. Passengers, and this bus. This is my seat. This is my bag. And so this bus, man, it's like I said, it's easy, but also it's hard because one thing about driving a commercial bus, any commercial vehicle really, the number one thing is your following distance. That's when any commercial vehicle. The following distance, which, you know, they taught us driving a commercial vehicle here in Houston, at least have 6 to 8 seconds. So if you behind a vehicle, you want to make sure you have at least 6 to 8 seconds behind a vehicle. And a lot of people don't know what I mean when I say that. So when I say 6 to 8 seconds, when you driving a commercial vehicle and you behind a vehicle, when you drive a commercial vehicle and you behind a vehicle, that's for example, if it's a pole on the street, if it's a pole on a highway, once that car passes up that pole, that's when you count your seconds. And then you count your seconds once that car passes that pole, and by the time you get to that pole, you should have already counted at least 6, 7 seconds. Sometimes it needs to be 8 or 9 seconds, depends on what you're driving. This particular bus that I'm driving, it's a pretty big bus. And when it's full of passengers, it's you know, it's a pretty heavy bus. So I'll make sure that I have my following distance. That's the number one thing when you want to operate any commercial vehicle, no matter what it is. That's just me. So that's the number one thing, you know, you want to load. Matter of fact, you can practice that in your car. You know, you can practice the 8, 9 seconds, 6 seconds in your car. That helps out a lot. So I learned a lot driving these buses. Aim high, aim high, get the big picture when you driving these commercial vehicles. Aim high meaning like look far ahead, look for hazards. Make sure they can see you, because commercial vehicle is very, very important when it comes to safety. Sleep-wise, want to make sure you have your rest when you're driving these commercial vehicles, because these commercial vehicles is very, very important that you follow safety rules and you have your rest. But all that said, so now I started my truck driving school, and I started my truck driving school. I did it on weekends, and I graduated. Now I got my Class A, and got my Class A, and I want to say July 27th I will be leaving Metro to go work with Steven. So that's gonna be a different journey for me. I'm finna graduate from buses, driving big trucks, from buses to trucks. But to me personally, driving a bus, it teaches you a lot about safety, and you can bring that safety into when you want to start driving trucks. And because a bus, it's a lot to it. It's not just driving, it's just a lot to it. And also, when you're driving a bus, you also learn your reference in your turns. Turning reference, what they call it. A lot of people, y'all might not know what I mean by that. But when you turn a commercial vehicle, especially a long vehicle, you have this thing called reference. You want to know where to pit, your vehicle at before you make a certain turn. So I learned all in this bus, and it helps me out when I went to drive trucks. And it helps me out a lot. So, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm gonna start with Stevenson and, drive trucks. And I just, hopefully that this channel that I just started, it can teach whoever, if they want to, get their permit, their license or whatever. A lot of people that I know, they go through the trucking company for their CDL. Well, me, I did a little different. I just got my permit. I studied the CDL book, got my permit. Then I went through a program in my city, and they actually paid for my CDL school. I didn't have to come out of pocket. I don't know, some cities might have it, but I know in Houston, it's programs where they pay for your CDL school. And you get your CDL in 4 weeks. And that's what I did, So I don't have to sign no contract with no company. I heard bad things about that. Signing contracts just to get your CDL, and these companies charge $10,000 for your CDL school and all that. I didn't have to go to that. So I'm finna go to Stevenson with my CDL Class A already. I'm just basically, building my experience. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of truck companies, good truck companies. You gotta have experience. And I noticed experience is the key in this trucking world. Experience is the most important thing, And so I advise you guys, you want to get into the trucking world, don't get in it looking at making money. Get in it to build your experience. The money gonna come. The money gonna come. You have to build your experience. So, I'm gonna thug it out. I'm gonna thug it out until I can get me about 2-3 years experience. And I'm not even gonna worry about the pay. The pay gonna come, But at the end of the day, man, it's all about building your experience and making the best. My goal is to be an owner-operator, start my own trucking company, and go from there. It's a lot of things that I'm gonna do in this trucking game. I'm gonna get my hazmat, I'm gonna get my tankers, my triples and doubles. I want it all. I'm gonna get it all. I'm gonna make the best out this trucking business. And then that's just where I'm at, So I'm gonna end this video, and I have more videos coming. I have a whole bunch of videos coming. So yeah, thank y'all for joining my channel. Like and subscribe. Welcome to D Woods Trucking, and let's get it.